Imagine waking not to an alarm, but to the biting cold of a damp, dark room. The year is 1225. There's no electricity, no central heating, just the struggle to survive. Outside, the world is harsh, muddy streets, the clatter of wooden carts, the shouts of merchants, and the ever-present toll of church bells. These bells rule your life, calling you to prayer and reminding you of your place in a world governed by faith and fear. Every day is a battle against hunger, the elements, and the threat of sudden violent death. Forget fairy tales of knights and castles. Those were for the privileged few. For most, life is endless labor from sunrise to sunset, with no weekends, no holidays, and little hope of growing old. Your world is small, your horizons limited to your village and the fields beyond. Nightfall brings fear, bandits roam, and superstitions about demons and spirits fill the darkness. There's no police, no emergency services, just you, your wits, and maybe a simple tool. This isn't an adventure, it's a daily fight for survival. Every sunrise is a victory, every sunset a looming threat. In the medieval world, just living through another day is an achievement. Staying clean in the Middle Ages was nearly impossible. Streets doubled as open sewers, and chamber pots were emptied out of windows with little warning. Mud mixed with filth clung to everything, and the stench was overwhelming. Baths were rare, water had to be hauled and heated, and many believed bathing made you sick. Most people went years without a proper wash. Soap was a luxury for the wealthy. Lice, fleas, and rats thrived, spreading disease everywhere. Germ theory was unknown. Sickness was blamed on God or evil spirits. Beds were straw mattresses, shared with family and vermin alike. The itching never stopped, and every cough could mean a fatal illness. There was no escape from the grime. It was a constant, inescapable part of life. Disease and filth kept life expectancy brutally short. Hunger was a constant companion for medieval peasants. A single bad harvest could mean starvation for an entire village. Even when food was available, it was often coarse, adulterated, and barely edible. Bread was heavy and sometimes mixed with sawdust or dirt. Meat was rare and often spoiled. Water came from contaminated sources, making disease a daily risk. Meals were cooked over smoky fires, eaten from communal bowls with unwashed hands. Food safety didn't exist. Every meal was a gamble with your health. Food poisoning was common and often deadly. The taste of rancid fat and gritty bread was normal. Eating was a daily risk, not a pleasure. Falling ill in the Middle Ages was terrifying. Medicine was based on superstition and the theory of four humors. Bloodletting and leeches were common cures, often making things worse. Surgery meant no anesthesia, just pain, screams, and a high risk of infection. Tools were unsterilized, and wounds were cauterized with red-hot irons. Childbirth was deadly for many women and infants. Remedies ranged from herbal concoctions to magical charms, rarely effective. Even a simple injury could be a death sentence. To be sick was to be at the mercy of ignorance and agony. Justice in the medieval world was brutal and public. Minor crimes could mean flogging or amputation. Stocks and pillories were common punishments. Executions were public spectacles. Hangings, beheadings, and worse. Torture was used to extract confessions, and justice was swift and merciless. The church dominated every aspect of life, controlling knowledge and government. Suffering was taught as a test from God. Questioning the church meant risking death as a heretic. The fear of damnation was as real as the fear of violence or starvation. Excommunication could ruin even kings. Witch trials and paranoia led to countless innocent deaths. Survival depended on both your body and your soul in this unforgiving world. If you enjoyed this journey, subscribe to Trail of Facts for more fascinating history.